City of Boonville City Council meeting agenda April 6, 2020. Due to the public health crisis and current state of emergency, the City Council will be participating via telephone, RSMO 610.015, when it is necessary to take votes by roll call in the meeting of the public governmental body due to an emergency of the public body with a quorum of the members of the public body physically present and in attendance, and less than a quorum of the other voice or of the other members of the public governmental body participating via telephone, facsimile, internet, or any other voice or electronic means. The nature of the emergency of the public body, justifying that departure from the normal requirements, shall be stated in the minutes. Where such emergency exists, the votes taken shall be regarded as if all members were physically present and in attendance at the meeting. Meeting will be closed to the public in order to minimize the risk of the novel coronavirus and to ensure continuity of government services. However, you may view the live stream of the meeting at our YouTube channel, City of Boonville, Missouri YouTube channel, and on Channel 3 with Suddenlink Cable TV. If you have a public comment that you would like to present to the council, please contact Teresa Studley, City Clerk, before 4 p.m. on Monday, April 6, 2020, at 660-882-2332, or by email at teresa.studley@boonville-mo.org. Your statement will be read during the hearing of citizens' comments.
Morris? Morris, you want to do the pledge and prayer, please?
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States of America, to the
republic for which it stands,
one
nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and
justice
justice
for all. You gonna do the prayer, Morris?
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting a lot of back feed.
Yeah, you will. I'm getting some back feed from you too.
Okay.
Just go ahead and shout into your phone.
Father, we come to you tonight. We ask you to bless this nation. Pull us all together to fight this virus that's going around. And thank you for all the people that have pulled together and is working with us to get rid of this. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Morris. Teresa, roll call.
Carter.
Here.
Morris Carter here via phone. Venable.
Here.
Whitney Venable here via phone. Dorman.
Here.
Vanessa Dorman here via phone. Stock.
Here.
Michael Stock here via phone. Young.
Here.
Steve Young here via phone. Meadows.
Here.
Susan Meadows here via phone. Bozarth.
Here.
Brent Bozarth here via phone. Hurt.
Here.
Henry Hurt here via phone. And of course, Mayor Ned Beach is on the phone as well.
Well, thank you. We do have a quorum. Hearing of citizens' comments.
Okay, I have a couple of citizens' comments here. The first one, Bob Burnett, Ward 4. I have his address and phone number listed. For the last 3 weeks, we have had 2 big trucks, semis, that have driven down our street and have torn lines down. We've got a line down in front of our house yesterday, which was on April the 2nd. The line is still down. I had to call M.L. Coffin 3 weeks ago and he came out. I don't know who he called, but he called somebody and he got them to come out and fix it. But there is no reason for those big trucks to be running up and down our street with the lines low. And I don't have any idea as to why they run up and down our street. And I would like for someone to do something about it. I've already called Morris and I want the council to know about this for Monday night. There is no reason to have the big trucks running up and down our little street. It is not made for them. It is just inconvenient. We've got these lines that have hung down before that were torn down, and they had been hanging down for 2 to 3 weeks before anyone did anything with them. And unfortunately, it's going to be the same thing this time. I've driven a truck for over 36 years, and I never did drive down a city street because I knew the lines were too low anywhere in the United States. That's the end of the first public comment.
Teresa, would you please read his address again?
His address is 1221 Maple Street.
Maple Street, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
The second public comment is from Karen Esser, the Boonville, Missouri Chamber of Commerce. She asks that I read this message. She states, pursuant to the email message sent to all city council members on March the 30th, 2020, except Henry Hurt, who was contacted via United States Postal Service, please advise whether solicitation of responses for Heritage Days street closures from residents and businesses whose property is adjacent to the proposed street closures may be made via return postcard addressed to the Boonville Area Chamber of Commerce. A sample postcard specific to the residents is attached. It duplicates the information contained on the form created by the City of Boonville for street closure approvals, name, address, signature, and a response. Copies of the original postcards will be attached to the city's form upon submission of the proposed closure for City Council to vote at a to-be-determined date. This request is to approve the process. It is not a request for a vote on the street closures. Thank you. And that was the last of the citizens' comments that I've had.
Thank you, Teresa. Item 4, approval of the minutes of the March 16, 2020 council meeting. Are there any suggested changes, deletions, or additions? There being none, the minutes will be accepted as submitted. There are no consent items. Presentation of accounts and claims on page 9.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1. For the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on April 6, 2020, the sum of $487,154.17. General Fund, $240,371.66. Sanitation, $35,800.41. CIP tax, $28,573.70. Waterworks, $67,383.28. Capital projects, $0.00. Wastewater, $97,193.90. Tourism, $7,291.61. Gaming, $9,149.87. Parks and Water, $1,389.74. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $487,154.17, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage, first reading on April 6, 2020, read for the second time the 6th day of April 2020, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, I make a motion this be approved.
Thank you, Morris. Is there a second? Say your
I
name.
second it.
Who was that?
This is Susan.
Susan, thank you for the second. Any comments? Roll call.
Carter,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Bozarth,
Yes.
Hurt.
Yes.
All city council voted yes. Morris moved, Susan seconded the motion.
Okay, it passes. Item 7, unfinished business. Item A, second reading of bill number 2020-010, approving the final site plan for Happy Jacks Express located at 215 East Ashley Road. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, was that Brent? Did you make the motion? Okay.
Yes.
Second?
Whitney second.
Whitney
Hey, who-
seconded,
Whitney seconded.
yes.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
I will need to read the ordinance.
Go.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, approving the final site plan for Happy Jacks Express at 215 East Ashley Road, Boonville, Cooper County, Missouri, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. I have a motion by Brent to pass the bill. Whitney seconded.
Any comments? There being no comments, roll call.
Carter.
Yes.
Carter, yes. Venable.
Yes.
Venable, yes. Dorman.
Yes.
Dorman, yes. Stock.
Yes.
Stock, yes. Young.
Yes.
Young, yes. Meadows.
Yes.
Meadows, yes. Bozarth.
Yes.
Bozarth, yes. Hurt.
Yes.
Hurt, yes.
Okay, the motion passes. Thank you. Item 8, new business. A, consider resolution 2020-01, authorizing and accepting certain documents related to the refunding of the certificates of participation, Build America Bonds, Series 2010. I'm going to go through the roll call and see who has questions. If you do not have a question, just say none, and I'll move from there. Morris. No. Whitney.
No.
Whitney.
What?
I can't hear him.
Whitney said no.
No questions.
Oh, okay, Vanessa.
No question. And, Ned, it's hard to hear you.
Ned has, or
Okay.
Vanessa has no questions.
Okay. Mike.
Mike?
Michael?
No.
Mike Stock, do you have any questions?
No, he has no questions.
No questions.
Steve? None. Susan? No. Brent?
No, it was very well explained.
Henry? No. Okay, is there a motion?
Wait.
I have to read the resolution.
Before we do the motions?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
A resolution authorizing a lease refinancing for the benefit of the City of Boonville, Missouri. Whereas the City of Boonville, Missouri, the city, has selected WM Financial Strategies as the municipal advisor, and desires to select Gilmore and Bell, P.C., as special counsel, related to a lease refinancing transaction, the leases, to provide funds to refund the city's taxable certificates of participation, Build America Bonds, Direct Pay, Series 2010, the refunded certificates, as provided in the proposal the proposal submitted to the city by First State Community Bank, the bank, and whereas the city desires to authorize the leases pursuant to a private placement with the bank and to authorize the municipal advisor, special counsel, the bank and the officers of the city to proceed with the preparation, review, and distribution of documents to complete the delivery of the leases. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1. The municipal advisor, special counsel, the bank, and the officers of the city are hereby authorized to proceed with preparation of the leases containing the terms substantially conforming to the proposal provided by the bank and attached hereto as an Exhibit A. The final terms of the leases shall be determined and approved by subsequent ordinance of the City Council of the city. The city selects Gilmore & Bell PC as special counsel to provide legal services related to the leases in accordance with the terms substantially conforming to the engagement letter attached hereto as Exhibit B. Section 2. The mayor, the city administrator, and other officers and representatives of the city and the bank, the municipal advisor and special counsel are hereby authorized and directed to take such and other action as may be necessary related to the authorization of the leases and the prepayment of the refunded certificates to accomplish the prepayment of the refunded certificates and to retain the services of special counsel. Section 3. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its adoption by the City Council, duly read and passed by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri, the 6th day of April 2020.
Thank you, Teresa. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion. This is Brent.
Thank you, Brent. A second?
I'll second it.
Is that Morris?
Yeah.
Okay, seconded by Morris.
I just want to
Any
make,
que-
I was just going to make a comment really quickly that Tim Lidikin called me last Tuesday, so I think the 31st, and their board met and they approved the loan as the board. So we're on all process to continue. That was kind of one of the last outstanding items, but Tim and I visited, so.
Kate, I got a question.
Yeah?
Under section 1, about halfway through where you got approved by the ordinance, should that be approved by a resolution?
No.
Of ordinance?
No, this is just authorizing us to start the process, and in probably 30 days, we're gonna have a whole nother slew of ordinances where we actually do the deal with the bank. So this is just part 1.
Okay, that's fine.
We have a motion and a second?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Brent made a motion and Morris seconded the motion to approve it.
Any more comments? Roll call.
Carter.
Yes.
Carter, yes. Venable.
Yes.
Venable, yes. Dorman.
Yes.
Dorman, yes. Stock.
Yes.
Stock, yes. Young.
Yes.
Young, yes. Meadows.
Yes.
Meadows, yes. Bozarth.
Yes.
Bozarth, yes. Hurt.
Yes.
Hurt, yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Item 9, reports of standing committees. Anything to say about Housing Authority, Morris?
No, good committee, but I will mention the fact that we are meeting, but we're going to meet by telephone this Wednesday.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Item B, the following boards were canceled due to preventative measures taken to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Tourism, Fire Board, Parks and Rec, Cemetery, Street, Alley, and Sanitation, and Board of Public Works. Item 10, reports of city officials. City Administrator, Kate?
I do not have anything else to report tonight unless you guys have any other questions.
Anybody have questions for Kate?
Nope.
Nope.
I have one quick comment. For those that are not aware of it, the county health department out in Windsor is providing testing for COVID-19, and they are providing it at no cost. All you have to do is call out there, get an appointment, and they'll set you up with a time, and they'll perform the test, send it off to be checked, and then give you the answer the following day. City Clerk?
Yes, I do have an election update. On March the 18th, we received an email from the Secretary of State's office. They advise Governor Parson announces the April 7th municipal elections are postponed until June 2nd in response to COVID-19. Pursuant to the Governor Mike Parson's Executive Order 20-02 declaring a state of emergency in response to COVID-19 and a request from the Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft, Governor Parson today signed Executive Order 20-03 ordering all Missouri municipal elections previously scheduled for April 7th, 2020 to be postponed to June the 2nd of 2020. And that's all I have today.
Good. Thank you, Teresa. Miscellaneous, Morris.
I want to bring up the map or the street closures for Heritage Days. And
Can everybody hear Morris?
It's a little hard to hear him.
No.
Is this any better?
Yeah.
Okay,
That
I got
helped.
closer to my phone. All right, if you would, in your book, mark the map that's not a photograph as map 2. That's one that was presented to the council by myself. And mark number 1, the photograph copy, as number 1. And as you can, both of these maps, it has been measured off, and there's enough room to have Heritage Days by either map. The two main advantages of map 2 is number 1, safety, where people can get up and down the streets. We'd only have approximately 2 blocks, or no, 1 block of 4th Street closed. Versus and still having quite a bit of streets closed.
Hey,
But I
Morris?
think we need,
Morris?
yes,
Can you just hang
Yeah.
on? We gotta switch over for the folks on the cell phone. They're having a hard time hearing you. So just to kind of go through very briefly, Morris is talking about the Heritage Days maps, and one was the map that Morris talked about at the February 18th council meeting, and then on page 41 is the map that Karen passed out at the Chamber of Commerce. Or Karen from the chamber passed out on the I don't remember when she was here, but
She didn't.
okay, she passed this one out. This was their desired map. And I think Morris was just saying that both maps have the same amount of space in terms of yards or feet. It's just where the yards or feet are. So I'm going to pause and let Morris keep going, and then we'll cut in again, Morris, and
that's fine. Only thing I'm going to say, Kate, is that, in other words, the first map, or the one that I marked number 2, the one I presented to the council meeting, we've got less street closures. We've got the car show on 2nd Street. For safety reasons, plus there's only 4 residents that's going to be affected by the street closures.
okay. So what
And-
Morris was saying was that on the map that he presented to council on February 18th, there was fewer street closures and fewer residents who were impacted by street closures, and the entire car show was on 2nd Street. Keep going, Morris.
And this will, we just need to make a decision. It might not suit everyone, but we just need to approve it and say this is what the council wants you to work with and get it over with.
Morris was just
So-
commenting that the council needs to make a direction as to which map they would like to see for Heritage Days 2020 and get back to the chamber so they can plan appropriately, and I suppose also discuss whether you want to take the postcards as an option.
Personally, I don't like the postcards on account you don't know actually who signs it. And there's we actually don't know who approves it. It could be an employee, it could be a kid. So we don't know who approved it or anything on the postcards. So at this time, I'd like to, I guess, make a motion that we approve map number 2, which is the one I presented, and go with it.
Hey, Morris, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You're labeling the map that is listed as page 40. Is that number 2?
Yes, and 41 is number 1.
Okay. All right, is there a second to that motion?
So Morris was making a motion that you all as a council approve the map that was presented by Morris at council on February 18th, the one on page 40, and to tell the chamber to proceed with that plan, and Ned was looking for a second.
So before I do have a question. The car show would be on 2nd Street and that small section of 4th Street and Chestnut, is that correct?
No, the car show will be on 2nd Street, period.
Okay, and what's on 4th?
That is for craft food. Coming down
Okay.
Chestnut and going in front of the Hayden House on 4th Street.
Okay, and then on Spring Street up by council chambers and post office, just so I know what will be there. I assume one is the carnival.
Yes, and the beer garden, well, everything up in that on 6th Street, the carnival will be just like it was last year, using the city parking lot and 6th Street, and then the beer garden will be in the bank parking lot and part of Spring Street.
Okay.
Okay,
And what was the feedback from last year? Were people satisfied with that arrangement?
Yes.
Okay.
Real quick, just to pass over to the cell phone side, Susan asked, just for clarifications for her sake, what was on the map on page 40. So the car show is on 2nd Street. On 4th Street is the booths and the craft fairs. Then on 6th Street is the carnival, and it would be the same setup as last year, and that dot of blue would be the beer garden.
And I'm going to go through the roll call for any questions. Ready?
Yep.
Whitney?
No
You say
question.
no.
No questions from Whitney.
Vanessa? Vanessa?
Vanessa?
No question.
No questions from Vanessa.
Mike?
Mike?
I don't think I have any questions. I'm just looking at the map again, but I think we're pretty good. No, I don't need to ask anything.
No questions from Mike.
Steve?
Yeah, my question is, what are the chances of this even happening this year?
50-50, I would say. That's up to the chamber.
Okay.
Just for the cell phone side, just so you guys know, Steve asked what the chances were of the event happening, and nobody really knows. It depends what happens, obviously, day by day, week by week.
Susan, any questions?
Just one more clarification. On the Chambers map, we would be closing a portion of Spring Street, is that correct?
You'd be closing,
ma'am.
portion of Spring Street plus, probably 6 or 8 blocks on 4th Street.
Alright,
So Susan asked about if on the chamber map it was still closing Spring Street, just to make sure that she was reading both maps correctly. And yes, Spring Street would be closed and a portion of 4th Street for the car show.
Brent, any questions?
No, this is the only smart course to go. I mean, no, this is what needs to be done.
Okay, thanks, Brent. Henry, any questions?
No questions.
Okay, roll call.
Wait,
Oh,
we need
wait
a
a
second.
second,
Oh, wait a minute. Yes.
Someone had called out a second, but I didn't catch who it was. We did have a second.
If not, I'll second it. This is Brent.
Okay,
Okay.
so
We have
Morris,
a motion by Morris and a second by Brent.
Good, thank
Is
you.
that correct?
Yep.
Okay, roll call.
okay, Carter,
Yes.
Carter is yes. Venable,
No.
Venable is no. Dorman,
Is no.
Dorman is no. Stock,
No.
Stock is no. Young,
Yes.
Young is yes. Meadows,
yes.
Meadows is yes. Bozarth,
Yes.
Bozarth is yes. Hurt,
Yes.
Hurt is yes. So that is a 5-3 vote
In favor.
in favor. 5 yes, 3 no.
Okay. Thank you all. Any
So,
more miscellaneous?
so Morris, just to wrap that up, do you want me to send something to the Chamber of Commerce, or are you going to continue to communicate with them?
I call.
You'll call them?
Yeah.
And also, I think we need to have some direction about the postcard request. And just to clarify, Morris had already said that he didn't think the postcards were a good idea.
Well, besides the fact that the previous method was voted on, wasn't it in an article?
No.
No, it wasn't? Okay. Yeah, but
I have a question. If we're going with the 2nd Street car show map, it doesn't look like it impacts as many businesses and private residences. So would that maybe help in terms of sending out postcards?
To answer your question, Susan, by going with the 2nd Street, only thing it's going to affect is 4 houses on 4th Street.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So the risk of missing an individual by doing postcard might be less than if we went with the chambers layout, right? I'm
That's
trying to
correct.
decide how big of an impact postcards versus our normal way of doing it will be with this new layout.
I think
it's
just to point out, I'm looking at the calendar. So there are now basically 1, 2, 3. There are 4 meetings before Heritage Days would be. So 5, excuse me, there'd be 5. However, I think it's safe to assume that all of April is out. So nobody's going to be going door to door in April. So you would be pushing the Chamber Street closure into May. And again, I don't know that there's any guarantees. So one other option is you could tell the Chamber that you'd like them to do door to door, but if the health situation doesn't change by some date, that you would allow a postcard process. But you would have to provide enough time for them to do the postcards.
Well,
Right.
well, wait a minute, we have a second concern there, because you have the street closures that are required for the parade. You know, on High Street, and, down the Water Street, all of that, so you still have to have a relatively large complication of getting signatures to approve those street closures.
They don't vote on
They
that.
don't close off High Street.
I don't think they do an official, I don't think we do an official closing for the parade. They just kind of line up. It's not an official closing. It is a part of their request. They say that they're gonna go ahead and start lining up about, or like 9 o'clock in the morning. But it's not where it's really dramatically affecting people for several hours.
I can tell you, having lived on High Street, we never had someone come and ask for a street closure request.
Well, that's kind of amazing when you consider it's probably 5 or 6 hours, isn't it? They get down there about 7 in the morning. Huh, okay.
They do it.
Well, if we haven't done it, then we shouldn't do it.
Yeah, they just haven't considered it as part of. It was part of the big packet that came through, but it wasn't part of the street closure request.
Okay. Alrighty. Works for me. That's good. Makes it simpler. Any other thoughts? Okay. We will move on. Any other miscellaneous?
I got one thing.
Yeah.
Speak up, please.
I got one too when you guys get done.
I just want to say I think Kate and the rest of the members of City Hall have done a great job in how they've handled this situation.
Thank you.
Good comment. Well said.
Everyone is doing a fantastic job, so we're really lucky.
Okay, let's,
I think Mike had a comment.
So, I have had several questions about the pool.
Yeah. It's in limbo right now, to be perfectly honest with you. Paul and I have had some conversations, about opening it, not opening it. When do we have to start working on it in time to open it? A late opening. I hope that at the next council meeting we're going to have some clarity on those things, so I hope to be able to provide a report at that time. But it is on our radar screen.
The only reason I say that is because everybody's been holed up for a month now, give or take.
I know, and I hope we can open it. One of the challenges we're facing right now is just like City Hall and everywhere else, Paul is only working with 3 people and then 3 people, so his ability to get the work done is hampered. And of course it coincides with grass growing season, so they've been doing a lot of lawn mowing.
Understand.
Yeah. And so, we're a little bit, and the other challenge was that, many of our lifeguards were gonna go through the YMCA for their certifications, and that stuff is kind of up in the air now also. So, there's a lot of balls in the air, and I think hopefully the 24th will have clarity, or more clarity.
Gotcha. I just wanted to ask.
Yep, no problem.
Hey Kate, this is Whitney. I've got something for miscellaneous.
Yes, sir.
I just would
I
like to
couldn't
thank
hear that question.
CMMG.
Wait, go ahead, Whitney.
So I just want to thank CMMG for all the good things they're doing for our community, doing for the local restaurants, the free donut days. It's amazing to have a company like that that's giving back to the community. So I just want to give them a shout out.
Sure. So, to the landline folks, Whitney was just saying that he wanted to recognize CMMG's great work in terms of buying. I think they buy 100 meals from restaurants and the donut days and all of the things that they've been doing to support the local businesses who've been impacted by COVID-19.
Yep, good point.
Real good job.
Well said. Okay, last point for Teresa and Kate. For some reason or other, I could not understand a thing that they were saying, although I did get Whitney's voice. But Whitney and Vanessa and Mike, I couldn't pick up. I'm not quite sure why, or if they're on a different line than the rest of us. But we might take a look at that for the next meeting, because the next meeting will also have to be done this way.
Yep, we will go back to the drawing board.
I just put you on.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
But thank you everyone for your patience and your work and your flexibility. So I know this is less than perfect, but we can still get here and get the business done.
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Okay, everybody hang out.
Goodbye.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye.
Ned?
It's like fireworks.
It is. Okay, I gotta shut us down. I'll shut us down, since I've already touched everything.
Well, you're germs.